Welcome to our Facebook Live here with Melissa from Humber. Melissa, I was trying to figure out her title. You are?
A student recruitment advisor.
Wonderful, at Humber. Yes, great. Quite the mouthful, but it's good. She helps students wanting to attend Humber. And I am Richard Vallejo. I am the student service representative here at Virtual High School. So today, obviously, we're going to be talking about Humber and the Humber experience. Melissa is going to be telling us why Humber might be a good option for post-secondary for many of our students. So we're gonna hear from Melissa, and then afterwards we're gonna have a time for question and answers. So of course, while you're watching this, if you have any questions, comment away, and we'll get to them as soon as we're done with the presentation. So Melissa, until then, if you could just tell us why Humber is a good option for post-secondary.
Perfect. So Humber is one of the larger colleges in Ontario. We have about 30,000 full-time students. We offer 180 full-time programs.
Wow.
So ranging from your one-year certificates, 2-year diplomas, 3-year advanced diplomas, as well as 4-year degrees. So if students out there didn't know that colleges offer degrees, we do. And they are equivalent to that of university degrees. So if you are interested in going on to, let's say, do you want to get your master's or perhaps go to teacher's college, you do have those opportunities as well afterwards. Yeah, so our 180 programs, they vary all across the board. So from our applied tech programs, so if you're interested in engineering or design, we have our business school. We offer both traditional as well as non-traditional business programs. So our traditional meaning more like marketing, human resource, finance, accounting. But our non-traditional programs such as esthetician or spa management or fashion management. So if you are interested in a particular industry, but learning about the business side of it, we offer those type of programs as well.
Wonderful.
If you're interested in creative or performing arts, we have things like theater performing arts. We're really well known for our bachelor in music. We actually have a recording studio on site. So students actually get to record in our recording studio. So that's a great opportunity as well. Things like health sciences, so our more competitive programs, things like nursing, so we have both practical nursing and registered nursing, or paramedic, traditional Chinese medicine, you name it. We offer those as well. Hospitality, recreation and tourism, so if you are interested in culinary, we have a culinary program as well as baking pastry arts, as well as our hospitality and tourism. So a broad number of programs. I like listing things that we don't have. So we don't have cars, planes, animals, and teeth, but we do have dead bodies. So we have things like funeral director, and that is one very, very unique program to Humber as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we have industry partnerships. So a lot of our programs are very career focused, right? So whatever essentially career you are interested in going into, that is the job that you're gonna get after you do a program. So if you are interested in becoming a nurse, your program is called nursing. Great. If you want to become a police officer, your program is called Police Foundation. So it's very, very career driven in terms of the curriculum. You get your theoretical, you get your practical learning experience, and then your real life learning experience in terms of internships, internships, placements, and co-ops. So we like to call ourselves a polytechnic institution, meaning you get a blend of both worlds. So kind of that theoretical that you get from university level, as well as the practical learning experience that you get at the college level. So we blend the both so that our students are really well prepared. So 90% of our programs do offer work placements, and that is the huge advantage, right? So when students graduate, they actually hit the ground running. So they know exactly what they learn in the classroom, the theoretical, apply it to the labs right next door, and then they get the opportunity to apply what they learned in both the classroom setting as well as the labs, and do it in an actual job, right?
Wonderful.
So a nursing student might work in a hospital, so they really get that hands-on experience.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, students wanting to go post-secondary, the goal is to get a job, right?
Absolutely.
And be able to use their degree. So to have a college that focuses mainly on that and can, like you said, teach the practical aspect as well as the theoretical, that's wonderful. So that sounds like a great opportunity for many students wanting to hit the floor running, like you said. You obviously equip them for that in their education and as well as helping them find placements.
I like telling students it's like a long-term interview, right? So a lot of these companies or organizations that take on our students every single year, many of them will ask the students to come on full-time afterwards, after they're done their program, right? Just because it's a lot easier to keep a student on instead of rehiring and retraining another individual afterwards. So students go out, and a lot of times they'll get hired right after their program is finished.
Wonderful. That sounds sufficient. And folks, that's really what it's all about. If you want to go to school, you want to get a job and start supplying for yourself. Thank you so much for all that information. So if you're just now joining us, we just heard briefly about the Humber experience from Melissa, who is the student recruitment advisor at Humber.
Yes, you got it.
Yes, I was practicing for that one. If you want to hear that spiel again, if you are just now joining us, there's going to be a link in our Facebook account, yes, and you can check it out there. Of course, if you know anyone that's wanting to attend Humber, if anyone, you yourself, and you didn't get a chance to see it, you recommend that to someone, send a link to someone, of course. Make sure that you leave any comments, any questions that you have. We're going to get to those as soon as possible. If you have any questions now, if you're watching, go ahead and type in your questions, because we're about to go into a frequently asked questions, a Q&A with Melissa here. So many of our students, as you know, here at Virtual High School are applying to attend colleges in Ontario. And we have students from all over the world as well. So let's just go into some frequently asked questions now that we're done with this. By the way, one thing that I liked is that you said it's easier to say the programs that you don't offer because you have so many.
So many, yeah.
If you have a question about it, check out our website. We're going to post Humber College there as well. Make sure you check out Humber website. What is it? Humber.ca.
Yep.
Very easy to remember, and you can check out there if there's something you're interested in. So for our first question, Melissa, it says, where's the best place to look for admissions requirements if a student wants to go to Humber?
Yeah, so everything is online, so humber.ca. You can actually search the program that you are interested in, and on each program page, it'll show you all of the admission requirements. Some programs, keep in mind that there are supplemental requirements as well. So besides your academic requirements, so things like your English course or your math or sciences, you might have to do a portfolio, an audition, or an interview. It really depends on the nature of the program.
Okay, so any questions, there's going to be a contact information for the specific program that somebody
Yes, so if there are program-specific questions, there is a contact on each program page.
Great.
But the admission requirements are all outlined on each program page as well, all online.
Wonderful, great, that's very efficient. Now, regarding admissions, what are some of the crucial deadlines that students really need to be aware of? Make sure they don't miss them.
So currently, the application portal is open, so it's ontariocolleges.ca. The deadline is February 1st, so that is what we call, across all the colleges in Ontario, our equal consideration deadline. So students have to consider that highly competitive programs, if you don't apply before February 1st, then they might close by February 2nd, and then there goes your chance to kind of apply for the following academic year. So this is for September 2019.
Okay.
So some programs only start in September, so unfortunately students that miss that deadline may have to wait an entire another year before they can apply again.
So February 1st,
February
that is a
1st.
very important deadline.
Yes.
Another question is, you did touch briefly on this, but could you reiterate which program at Humber are really the most competitive, like you just mentioned, especially those students that need to apply by February 1st?
For sure.
And then also, what are the anticipated admission averages for those coming up in the next year?
So our most competitive programs would be things like in our health sciences, so nursing, paramedic, some of our social service programs, so ECE, so early childhood education, child youth worker. We don't typically tell students the cutoffs every single year, just because every single year really does depend on the applicant pool. So I like to explain to students, if 100 students apply one year and their averages are 80%, we're always trying to just take the best top students for that year. So the cutoff will be an 80. Whereas the following year, if another 100 students apply for the exact same program and their averages are 95, then unfortunately that year the cutoff will be a 95%. So we always just encourage students to do the best that they can.
Of course.
And that will just, better their chances of getting into any program.
Of course.
with
Now,
us.
that 1 year being 80%, the next year possibly being 95, is that posted also on the website? Or
It is not.
Okay.
And that is only because we don't want students to aim for a certain mark
course, that
and
makes
then
sense.
get really disappointed if they don't end up getting in, right? With them assuming that, oh, last year the cutoff was an 80, so for sure I'll be able to get in next year with an 80%.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Now, obviously, students watching this, especially if you're a virtual high school student, this is why it's important to always do
Yeah.
your best and
sure.
dedicate enough time to your
Yes.
courses. Now, a very common question is always money, right? So what
Yeah.
financial aid is available for students wanting to go to Humber?
For sure. So we offer $10 million
Wow.
each year in scholarship, bursaries, and awards to our students. It's all done online. So if a student becomes a Humber student, then they could just search on our website. I believe it's humber.ca/financial aid, where they can search for all of our scholarships and bursaries and awards that we have for our students.
Got
So
it.
$10 million each year is out there for grabs for our students.
That is
And that's just within Humber. So there are a whole bunch of other external scholarship opportunities for students as well.
great. And obviously, that's going to be on the website as well.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Now, as far as residence, is it guaranteed for first-year students?
So unfortunately at Humber, it's first come, first serve.
Okay.
So it is not guaranteed. So we always just push students, as soon as you accept your offer at Humber and you know you really want to stay on residence on campus, then apply right away.
Great. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about Humber is you were telling me earlier it's 51 years. You had your 50-year
Yes.
anniversary last year.
Yes.
That's wonderful. What makes Humber different than other colleges? Like, what would you say, aside from all the programs that you offer?
Yeah.
If a student asking why Humber, what would you tell that student?
So our great labs and facilities, we have a ton of state-of-the-art labs for our students. So things like our cadaver lab. We're the only English-speaking college in Ontario that offers a cadaver lab for our students. So students in health sciences like paramedics, nursing, they actually get to handle real corpses. Whereas other institutions, maybe they have simulated dolls, we offer that as well. So I think a great differentiator between Humber and other institutions is our amazing labs, as well as our industry partnerships. So like you said, we've been here for a long time, so we have established a ton of industry partnerships within each and every one of our programs. So
Great.
whenever there is a placement opportunity, a lot of these companies and organizations will come back to us and ask us to send our students for placements and internships. So there are a lot of great opportunities for our students to gain that real life experience before they go out into the real world, so that they're fully prepared as soon as they graduate.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Sounds super efficient there, of course. Now, another difference about Humber, you guys have more than one campus, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about them? Where are they located? How many do you have?
So our largest campus is our North Campus. That is at Highway 27 in Finch.
Okay.
So north of Etobicoke. And then we have our Lakeshore Campus. That is at Kipling and Lakeshore, so south end of Etobicoke. Then we have our Orangeville Campus, which is smaller of the two. And there you will only find about 5 of our programs that are offered at that campus. Sorry. Highly recommend, when students are doing their research in terms of programs that they are interested in, to really do research as to where their program is located.
Right.
It happens too often where students will apply for a program and then thinking that they're going to be at the North Campus, not realizing that it's only offered at Lakeshore. So then they're doing, this commute.
That they didn't plan on doing.
They didn't plan on it, right? So maybe they rented a house,
Right.
closer to the North Campus, and now they have to do maybe like a 30-minute commute. So highly recommend students do their research in terms of where their programs are offered. We offer 28 degrees. Didn't mention that before. So we do offer 28 degrees, in-house degrees at Humber. Majority of them are offered at Lakeshore Campus, besides I believe a couple. So that's another thing. If students are, once again, doing that research and applying into programs, make sure you know exactly where that program is offered.
Yeah, that's good advice
Yeah.
for sure. Now, as far as the student wanting to visit these campuses, are there open houses or tours available?
Yeah, so we have our open house coming up. So this is our fall open house, November 17th. All campuses will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So an amazing opportunity to come out, see the campus. We always tell students you wouldn't buy a pair of shoes without trying it on. You wouldn't
True.
buy a car without test driving it. So, you know, your students are investing a lot of money in their education. So we always push students, come out, check out the campuses. You'll be able to do a tour, take a look at labs, speak to current students as well as professors, and just get a better sense and better feel to see if it's a fit for them, and kind of where they want to be at for the next 2, 3, 4 years of their life.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
So Saturday, November 17th, that's not
Yes.
this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Make sure you mark that on your calendar. So.
Coming so fast.
Yes, no, it's quick. Now, tell us a little bit about the student life and extracurricular activities there in Humber.
Yeah, we always push students to really get involved. So the most successful students are the ones that get involved. So, you know, never just go to class and then go home every single day. So there are plenty of opportunities to kind of get involved, whether that's joining clubs. So if there isn't a club out there within Humber, you can actually start your own club and get funding for it.
That's neat.
We have an amazing varsity athletics program. I myself, I played for the Humber basketball team. Great opportunity. So if you want to play competitively, you get the opportunity to travel across Ontario and compete with other colleges. I believe we're number 1 in medal count currently in Ontario. We might be number 1 or number 2 nationally. So
That's great.
Humber is, you know, top notch in terms of varsity athletics if you are interested in playing competitively. There are other opportunities to do extracurricular activities on a non-competitive level. So if you want to do pickup basketball or dodgeball, that sort of thing, there are many opportunities to kind of get involved in the school.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that sounds awesome. Now, we were talking earlier, Virtual High School has many students from all over the world, and our international population of students is constantly growing, and I think that's great. Question that we have is, does Humber have a large international student population, right? And what kind of support is available for those students?
So we do have an international department, and we do have a large international population, but just like our domestic students, they have the same student support as our domestic students do. So things like our career center, if students are interested in getting help with their interview skills or help with writing a cover letter or writing their resume, they can speak to somebody in our career center. We have our accessibility center. So if students are coming out of high school with perhaps an IEP, a disability, whether it's short-term, long-term, they can reach out to somebody and get accommodations according to, you know, each individual students and what they need. So many supports out there for our students. They just kind of have to self-identify and kind of just let us know that they need that help. But it's 100% there for all students to connect with various areas if they need that student support.
Great, that's wonderful. Now, before we go, any last comments on why Humber is a great choice for students? Something that you just kind of want to make sure that we know before we end the session?
I mean, just in general, Humber has a great sense of community. So, you know, whether you're an international student, a domestic student, all walks of life come to Humber. So, you know, some students are in their 50s, some of them are straight out of high school, some of them have families, some of them are doing a second career. So there will be someone there that you can connect with and relate to. We have great, like I said, clubs, student support. It's a great community in general. It's almost like a second home away from home. So if you are interested in kind of getting involved and figuring out the next chapter in your life, Humber is a great place to do that and figure things out.
Great. Well, it certainly sounds that way. No, so you've done well in explaining that, painting a real vivid picture. So that concludes our Q&A period. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch it. Melissa, thank you for coming and sharing with us the Humber experience. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are applying to an Ontario college, we have many students currently that are or will be. February 1st is the deadline, so don't forget that. And it's just great to know personally about Humber College here ourselves. So that brings us to the end of our Facebook live session that we have today. We encourage all the viewers to comment. If you have any comments or any questions, go ahead and include those in the video, and our team here is going to respond to those as soon as possible. And of course, if you're interested in Humber, or if you know someone that is, make sure you share that link with them. And If you have any questions, you can access humber.ca. You can contact us. We can put you in touch with the right person. Make sure you comment with any questions. Like I said earlier, we're going to reply as soon as possible. Like the video. And of course, make sure that you follow us as we do most, we're doing most post-secondary info sessions. So we're going to have more Facebook Live available for you to kind of get informed about what post-secondary institutions are offering. And make sure that you follow us on Facebook. We'll stay in touch that way. Thanks for watching.